the newly released slave. And our oppressor didn't like it. So by 1869, what he did was he started the labor union. And in order to get in the labor union, you had to be white. And that's how they oxed us out. You understand what I'm saying? And by oxing us out like that, then all of a sudden now we back in the street again. You understand what I'm saying? And people wanted to hire us, but they couldn't hire us because now you had to be licensed and everything else. You had to be in the union. So that was another way that they boxed us out. I got you. That was another way that they boxed us out. So now it's almost like they didn't want to help us to get over top of it, because that's basically, if they would have let it ride, that's what would have happened. So the same thing with like Martin Luther King with the bus boycott, right? We took everybody off of the bus boycott, and all of a sudden they started to crumble. So the thing we was talking about last week too was you begging these people to bring you back in when you could build your home. Yeah. So then what happens is they let us fund them, and all of our buildings, all of our businesses fell apart. So when all of your businesses fall apart, now what do you have to do? You have to go get business loans from them. You have to go get, buy property from them if you want to start a business. And that was a way that they could ostracize you out. Even with these loans that they given, I got an article that shows how they weren't giving the same business loans that they were giving to the same people with the same line of credit. You understand what I'm saying? And then they were denying a lot of blacks business loans. If they offer you a business loan, they giving you a business loan to build your people up. That's the one thing that they didn't want to do. This is the reason why we don't own any supermarkets. Anything that can build a community, anything that can build a nation, they refuse to let you have that. This is the reason why we don't own any gas stations, because that's a resource that, you can build a nation off of. This is the reason why we don't own any shopping centers or anything like that. Anything that you can build a nation off of, they refuse to let you have that. But they will let you have a little cart in the middle of the street that you can struggle to take care of your family alone. They'll let you do that. Understand what I'm saying? And they wiping that out anyway. On 125th, it used to be all blacks used to own the stores. Then they had the carts out there. Then they said, what's his name? Giuliani took all of those licenses away. Yeah. And then when he gave them back, he started giving them to the whites and the other so-called minorities. You understand what I'm saying? And oxed the so-called African Americans and Hispanics out. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they do, because they don't want to be the linchpin that helps a nation come up and come above them. And it tells, listen, it's already noted that we are the 10th richest nation in the world, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. We're the 10th richest. $1.8 trillion in purchasing power. And who do we give it to every year? We give it to our oppressor. And we build our oppressor up. That's the reason why the United States is as strong as they are, because they have us in captivity. Every nation that had us in captivity was the ruling nation. The Ming Dynasty, the Assyrians, the Egypt, all of that, Babylon, all of that. All of those nations had us in captivity. And that's the reason why they were as strong as they were. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why it's important for us to come back and do what we're supposed to do as a nation and take care of our people. Gather yourself together. Gather yourself together. Old nation, not desire. We got to come together. But not only do we got to come together, but we got to come together in one accord. You feel me? That's how you build a nation. This is the reason why the Isupk is the only group on the face of this earth that withstands the test of time and does the things that we do. You feel me? But we got the truth. We're the only ones that got the truth. But anyway, let's get this started. Let's get this cracking, right? Mm-hmm. We the Israelite School of UPK under Commanding General Yohana. This is Tuesday, Brotherhood class. You know what I mean? And Brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. And just so happened that today we're going to be talking about the sisters and the position that the sisters have. You understand what I'm saying? And all of us know, as brothers, it is nothing like a strong sister to stand behind you. If you got a strong sister to stand behind you, it's nothing that a brother won't do. You feel me? To make sure that that sister is protected and secure. But the problem is because of the nation that we live in, and because of the propaganda, and because of the destruction of our people, our sisters have been led astray. You understand what I'm saying? Our sisters have been led astray because our sisters have been given the power by our oppressor to step on our necks. Not that she absolutely knows that she's doing it, but the subtle way that it's done, either she doesn't realize that she's actually destroying her nation. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like the serpent in the garden. You understand? Instead of coming to the man to try to destroy the nation, what does the serpent do? Goes to the woman. Well, just like right now, in our nation right now, the serpent, our oppressor, the so-called white man, instead of coming to us and destroying us directly, he goes straight to the woman. Say, how does he go straight to the woman? How does he go straight to the woman? Give me an example.
An example I would use is like you heard of.
I know you got it. Let me.
Salakia, sir, number one for me got to be abortion.
I said, wait, stop. I said, I already know you got it. Let me hear him first.
Oh, it's like.
Let me hear Ralphie.
Because I know exactly what you're saying, but like with my teaching when I came up on doing and was listening to is I'm sure we all here heard of Willie Lynch and how Willie Lynch was breaking the slaves.
Right.
And he was doing it in front of women. That way she sees the strength of the man broken.
Right.
And once the strength of the man is broken, then she, as a woman, as a nurturer, is going to pass that on to the children.
So let's break it down and let's get a little bit more in depth. Give me a little bit. Give me something specific. What do they use today?
Oh, in today's
What
time?
are the vices today that they use?
Self-hatred.
Yeah, I mean, well, self-hatred is just what you said before. That's the Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yeah.
That was a tactic that they used.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get a little bit more in depth. Like Officer Nawar gave the example. He said,
Oh yeah,
abortion.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't bring in more.
right. So give an example. I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah.
Child support. Think about this, right? When they take you, if your lady takes you to child support, right? What is 9 times out of 10, what is the one thing that you know is going to happen if she takes you to child support?
Or jail. If you don't pay.
That's true, right? But one thing that you almost 9 times out of 10 know is going to happen.
Lose your rights to the child.
You do, that does happen. I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the one thing that you know is going to happen is the family's going to be broken up.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So 9 times out of 10, you know this is going to happen. The family is going to break up, right? Another thing that you know is going to happen is it's a good chance that the two of you are going to be at odds. The children are going to see it, and the children are going to be torn between. The children's mind can be ruined.
I see that
Seeing
now.
two parents, two people that they love, going at it, because of a vice that the oppressor has given the black woman that she doesn't realize is set to destroy her. You understand what I'm saying?
And the child.
So now, what happens is, I'm gonna give you an example. Right? Me and my kid's mother were living together back when we were young, 18 and 19 years old. My daughter was born, right? She had my daughter, so she was gonna be off for a while, so we went to go get assistance. I wasn't making too much, but we were making it, but we needed some help, so she went down to get social service, get some help. Well, the one thing that they told her was
Yeah, that's right, they do that.
I couldn't be living in the house with her.
Yeah, and she has to file for
And
child
boy,
support.
there you go. So
Right.
the next thing after they told her that we couldn't be living together, they told her she had to file
Yeah,
child
that's
support.
right, that's right.
Now, the thing were, when we were still living together, the child support was still coming back to me. You understand what I'm saying? The little bit that they was giving her.
That's
because
crazy.
She was still getting assistance, so they was taking some and giving her some. So it was still coming back to me at the end of the day. Some of it. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the vices that they give our black women without our black women understanding. These vices are to destroy you. There is an order that the Most High gives us. You understand what I'm saying? And because we live in the oppressor's world, sometimes we can't see that certain things are meant to destroy us. You understand? But the Most High gives us all of this instruction within the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if we follow order, if we follow law, then we won't need our oppressors' child support. We won't need our oppressors' public housing. You understand? We won't need our oppressors' food stamps. You understand? All we have to do is follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And just like we were saying before, that is so, that is so, that all this God, that is not to one. If we came together as a nation, we would be taking care of each other.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So think about this, right? You have a just grab First Corinthians 11.
Come on.
If we would have, think about it, we were living in a community. Think about this. Think about the East Indians. Think about the Chinese. Think about the Koreans. Think about the Arabs, right? It's thousands upon thousands of them living here, illegally, legally, and illegally, right? But how do they go under the radar? How do they go under the radar in their communities and never need a thing? Because one thing you don't see is you don't see the Korean, the East Indian, the Arab, or none of them in child support. You don't see them in welfare offices. Sometimes you may see one or two, if just by happenstance. But for the most part, you don't see them. Why do you not see them in it? Why? Because when they build with their own, they take care of their own.
Yeah.
It's not a thing of that's racism when you don't hire people who are not of your race.
Yeah.
It's not considered racism when it comes to them. But when it comes to us, it's considered racism. You understand what I'm saying? But the Bible, just like I said, everything that we need is in the Bible. Zephaniah 2:1, the most simplest scripture in the Bible. Gather yourself together, on each side. You know what I mean? If we follow just that, coming together, not only just coming together, but coming together on one accord. All of these nations that come together, they come together on one accord.
Yeah, they definitely do.
You understand what I'm saying? They come together on one accord. And this is the reason why they are able to build. But not only are they able to build, but they are able to take advantage of us because they are on one accord.
Yeah.
They know that I don't like the oppressor, but I can make my money off of this people. Arabs and the so-called Europeans don't get along. Chinese and Koreans don't get along, but they know they can come together for one simple purpose and live deliciously, and that's to oppress us. Every nation that comes here and automatically over top of us.
Yeah.
They are on one accord. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, by you saying that, I look at that and I can see that. You just look at the neighborhoods.
Right. And then the thing is even out the front right here, you look at the Arabs, and then they got Ottoman Turkish people that come in. These people are at war with each other on the other side of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Turks and the Arabs are at war with each other. But when they come right out here, they get along like crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Because they know they have one purpose in mind, and that's to take advantage of us and live the so-called American dream.
You make all that money they can.
We are born here, and we live in the American nightmare. You understand what I'm saying? But they come here on a so-called visa and live that dream that is actually reality for them. They live in the American reality. We think about the American dream, but we live in an American nightmare. Understand what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. So let me grab you got that? You got the Bible? Yeah, you got the Bible.
I don't even have a Bible.
Just keep it. Yes, one right up there. Yep. That's what they live.
Where did you say?
1 Corinthians 11:3. Hey, look, now, boy, I was waiting for you today. I filled the truck up and everything. So I'll make sure I let you stay home tonight.
You ready?
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Say that again.
The head of every man is Christ.
It says the head of every man is Christ. Now, basically, this is showing order. Anything that we read in this Bible is always order. There is nothing out of order in the Bible. Whenever anything goes out of order in the Bible, it's not because of the Most High, it's because we are being disobedient. You understand what I'm saying? And as long as we stay obedient with the Most High, we prosper. Once you step out of disobedience, or once you step out of order, then that's when everything goes awry. You understand what I'm saying? So, whenever you read anything in the Bible where the children of Israel are being destroyed, or the children of Israel are going through all kinds of hell, it's because they were being disobedient. It's because they were out of order. Feel me? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. This is the most important thing right here. No, I don't mean to say it like that. As far as structure, this is where a lot of women's problems start at or begin right here. Because of what we see on TV in this day and time, because of the music that we listen to right now, because we are so destroyed as a people, this is one of the hardest things in the world for a woman to hear. Read that again.
The head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. Women don't want to hear that. You understand what I'm saying? The woman don't want to hear that somebody is over top of her, that she has to listen to, that she has to be subjected to, that she has to obey. That word right there, obey, them 4 letters, that is a killer in a woman's ear. Listen, if you tell a woman, listen, baby, you gotta obey me, oh, they will flip out. You can call her a B and get a little whack, but that word, obey, the first thing a woman says is what when she hear that word obey? What's the first phrase that she say? Can you tell me?
No.
Oh, say it again.
Yeah, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Listen, but not only that, what I look like a damn dog to you? You understand what I'm saying? Because being in this European society, when you hear certain words and phrases mean certain things. A woman can tell you all day, every day, oh, I live in life. Oh, that's my heart and soul. I'm in love with Christ. You understand what I'm saying? I have a personal relationship with him. You know what I mean? But when they hear that word right there, obey, and it's in the Bible. When they hear that, that is absolutely it. That's my flipping point. I ain't trying to hear that. That's when the Bible, oh no, that was back in them days. You understand what I'm saying? I heard a female tell me that was because the women back in those days weren't as smart and weren't as intelligent. They was just as smart and just as intelligent. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, the Bible is a book for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. People been saying that for years, but every time you start bringing stuff up like that right there, all of a sudden, oh no, that was for back in them days. That's the famous line right there. You know what I mean? You get a woman with, oh, hey, oh, I ain't nobody, dog. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how destroyed we are as a people. We are so destroyed, a woman can hear order in the Bible and refuse. She can say, I live my life by the Bible. And when she hear that word, oh, she absolutely flips. Oh, I refuse. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, read that again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High.
The head of Christ is the Most High, and that's order. You understand what I'm saying? And the one thing a woman cannot stand when it's not all about her is order. You understand? I mean, think about all the shows that come on now that always puts the woman at the forefront. Think about Atlanta Housewives. Every time you see a man try to get up on Atlanta Housewives, you always got the women to put him down and put him in his place. You understand? Even with all the movies coming out, I saw this movie Gabrielle Union was in where a dude was trying to break into their house and kill him and shit, right? And her husband is beat up and knocked out by this dude. And all of a sudden, she's the hero, comes in and saves her husband, saves the day, and beats this dude up and stabs him and kills him and all this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that you look at today, all of these movies, all of these shows, is all about empowering women and homosexuals. When you look at all of these, what's that, Chicago Inc. and all of that bullshit that they play on TV. You understand? There are no shows. All the Tyler Perry movies makes the black man look like he's the weakest thing in the world. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Oprah Winfrey promotes the weak black man. She promotes homosexuality. She destroys the strong black image. I watched the old clip of her on her show. This was from back in the 80s, and she had these white people that didn't want black people moving into their community. And they said, and the white people told her, see, you're not one of those niggers. You're a regular black person. You understand what I'm saying? What's a nigga? Anybody that stands up and speaks how they feel. And somebody who doesn't humble themselves in front of you and bends down and kiss your feet. You understand? But Oprah urged it on. You understand what I'm saying? But now, you see where she at now? Now she's better than us. You understand what I'm saying? Because now she has so-called what she thinks is power. But just like what the same thing happened to Bill Cosby and so many other black people who thought they had power, once it's time for your fall, you fall. And when you fall hard. You understand what I'm saying? But the whole thing is it's women like her who get some kind of power, a little power to destroy her own people. You understand? Monique said, a about her. And what's the other dude?
It's like Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry and the other black dude, homosexual.
Oh,
producer.
I know who you're talking about. One that produced Empire.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
Oh, what, the actor?
No, he's a producer.
Oh, the producer, I don't know.
But she got the power. And this is what happens when a woman is out of order. When a woman is out of order and the so-called serpent gives her power, she takes that power and destroys her own. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens when a woman is out of order. And this is the reason why they hate that word obey and be obedient and be subject. You understand what I'm saying? We got any more on that? Or was that
Lot, sir. That was it.
Hey, drop down and go to that verse number 8. That same one.
So,
1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. For the man is not of the woman.
Say that again.
For the man is not of the woman.
This is for all of those what do they say? The black woman is God. All of those dudes that say the black woman is God. You understand what I'm saying? Let me ask you a question. If somebody breaks into your house, who's going downstairs to see what happened? You or your wife?
Man.
The man, right? So ain't God supposed to protect you? If the black woman is God, we need to send her down, right?
Yeah.
But the black woman is not God. The black woman has her place. You understand? And there is an order in everything. The black man does what? You just said it. You just said it. Protects, right? So it's our obligation to protect the black family. The woman does what? Raises her children.
It's like, so that was Lee Daniels. That's the one.
Lee Daniels, that's his name, yeah. Yeah, Lee Daniels. Yeah.
He's the producer.
Yeah. You know, and they get so much power that they start to destroy their own people. Just like Tyler Perry, homosexual, you know what I mean? He making all of these, I mean, every movie I haven't seen yet where, even that movie where Shamar that was in, when he married the chick at the end, he humbled himself to the chick at the end. She was torn between her, why did I get married? Is that the one? Where
No, he wasn't.
her husband got crippled. Remember that one? Her husband got crippled, and she was torn between him and her husband. And her husband came to church, and they were in church. He said, "Oh, I'm leaving you. I'm going back." And met him at his job and everything. He was on his knees, all that bull crap. It's just, I hate Tyler Perry. I mean, I ain't gonna say I hate him. I hate all of the movies that he do because they're so faggish and homosexual. You know what I mean? I'm into action movies anyway. I like some killing and fighting and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, that's my thing, so that's why I don't like it. I don't like it. I never liked the movie when they came out. Even before I came to the trip, I hated Tyler Perry movies. They were just so, I mean, that first one did, all right, that was cool. Different cut and everything. All that other crap after that, and I got tired of that crap. So, yeah.
But the woman of the man.
But the woman of the man. Listen, think about this, right? In Numbers 1:18, it tells you that, and I'm just paraphrasing that, you are the seed of your father. The seed comes through the man, not through the woman. The woman has eggs in her body, but those eggs lie dormant until that sperm hits the egg. The sperm swims to the egg, which means this is life. This is dormant. Once that sperm hits the egg, that sperm does what? That egg does what? It protects the sperm to help the sperm grow into a child. It's nutrients inside of that egg to help that baby grow healthy. You understand what I'm saying? The life is in the man. That's just like, I'm going to give you an example, right? a baker. You baking bread. So what do you need to bake bread?
Yeast,
Yeast. What else?
flour, water,
Flour,
eggs.
water, eggs. If you want to make raisin bread, you throw some raisins and all that in it, right? You put all of that stuff together, you put that yeast in it, you let that dough sit, and what happens? That dough rises, right? Then what do you do after that dough rises? And you put it in what?
In the oven.
In the oven. So now when you put it in the oven, what happens?
Bakes, turns into bread.
All of a sudden, you get the smell. The bread grows a little more. It browns, right? You take it out of that oven, and what happens? That bread is done, right? Let me ask a question. Who baked that bread? Who baked the bread?
The oven. The oven has the heat.
The baker. The bread is of the baker.
Mm-hmm. I know
The
that.
oven, the thing about it, right?
The ingredients are the heat.
Right, the baker is the baker of the bread. You don't say, give me some of that oven bread. You say, give me some of that baker's bread. The bread takes on the characteristics of the oven, but the bread is of the baker. You are the seed of your father. You take on characteristics of your mama, but your bloodline runs through your father. You understand what I'm saying? You are the seed of your father. They try to make it seem like the black woman is God and she does this. We can't take away the importance of the oven. Because without the oven, you don't get the bread. But nevertheless, this is the bread of the baker. There is no taking away from the importance of the woman. But let it be known that you are the seed of your father. But they make it seem like what? That the woman is the most important thing. The black woman is God. That's what they say. You understand what I'm saying? But there is definite order. Read that again.
For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Man is not of the woman. The man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. That seed, that woman comes from a seed. What is another name for seed? Sperm. That's what we call it. That's my seed right there. You understand? You never hear a woman say, that's my seed, that's my child. But that's my seed. Because the seed comes from the man. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? What's that? Go ahead, finish that.
Come on. Neither was the man created for the woman.
Neither was the man created for the woman. Hey, listen, this is important right here. Go ahead.
But the woman for the man.
But the woman for the man. Listen, the woman was created for the man. What do they call the woman in the Bible? What is she called when she's created? Help me. What is a help me?
An assistant. Slack.
It's assistant, yeah, you're
No,
right.
an assistant.
There you go. An assistant. That's a good word right there. An assistant. I didn't think about that. An assistant. What is an assistant?
One who assists.
Think about it, right? What is an assistant?
The assistant is going to, I guess, help you in an action you're already involved in.
Right? Let's go a little bit deeper. What is an assistant? An assistant does what?
Assist.
Assist. Yeah. Of course, that, right? Listen. What does an assistant do? Takes orders.
Come.
Takes orders. God placed a woman here to take orders from the man. Think about it, right? It said, the head of the man is Christ. The head of the woman is the man. If we take orders from Christ, Christ takes orders from the Most High, then the woman automatically does what? Takes orders from who? Exactly.
Oh my God.
You understand what I'm saying? An assistant takes orders. Women, a lot of women, and I'm talking about women that are not in the truth, don't want to take orders. They want to reverse the roles. They want to give orders. So this world that we live in, this society that we live in, they love it. Because why? They are allowed to give orders. No, you can't see your son today. No, he can't go with you. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They like the society because they like the option of doing what they want to do, whether it be good or bad. And most of the time, it's bad. And then women wonder why a lot of their relationships don't last. Why does a lot of their relationships don't last? Because, first off, they chose the person that they wanted to be with instead of a father who was under the Most High, under the guidance of the Most High, choosing a man for them. And every time they choose a man, it's always the wrong man. It's the reason why you got so many females out here with 4, 5, 6 babies, and still no man. And then all of a sudden, now they want to settle down after they got a basketball team and want to get a good man. And then when they do find a good man, they don't want that man to correct them. You understand what I'm saying? With the kids. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
Because they're not his kids.
Exactly. But you want him to act like they are. You want him to take care of them like they are. You want him to spend money like they are. But you don't want him to correct them like they are. I'm not talking about correcting when you're putting your hands on them, whipping your ass, nothing like that. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Exactly. And we've all seen it. You understand? We've all seen it. We've all seen children that are destroyed because a woman can't control the children, but doesn't want a man to step in and do the job for her.
Which is right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's proper order. And that's one of the things when a woman is not in the truth, that's the one thing that she doesn't want.
Give up her
Yep.
independence.
Come on, come.
Hey, let anybody know if they got any questions. If you have any questions, you can just type them in the chat. You understand what I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let's just move to the divide and conquer right there.
Yeah, divide and conquer. And because we don't have any order in our nation, I'm not talking about in the ISUK, we have order. Because we don't have order in the most part in our nation that hasn't come into the fold yet. This is the reason why we're being destroyed the way we are. This is the reason why our men are in the street being shot and killed and murdered. This is the reason why our women are being raped and molested the way they are. White woman gets raped and molested, she gets justice. The black woman gets raped and molested, she gets no justice. All our sisters that was at the border, that was being detained at the border, and in those cages were being raped and molested, none of them got justice. You understand what I'm saying? None of our sisters on those reservations that's being murdered.
Yeah.
On those reservations. Think about it. A reservation is nothing but a concentration camp. They can't do anything that they want. They can't even build on their own reservation, a land that was stolen from them. You understand what I'm saying? They can't even build or do anything. Is that yeah, but they can't even build on their own land. You understand what I'm saying? And that land was stolen from them. But if we were in order, you understand? If we were in order, so a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. And like I said, with the order, the oppressor comes for our women. Yeah, I got you. You understand what I'm saying? So the oppressor, like we said, comes for our woman, and that's how they destroy the nation. And then a lot of people don't think too, just like we talk about Numbers 18:1, right? You are the seed of your father. This is the reason why when they destroyed nations, what did they do? They destroyed the men, but they kept the women. Why? Because if they impregnate those women, it's their seed that's coming out. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another thing that a lot of women don't understand. So all these black women that are marrying European men, they having European babies. They having white babies. You understand? And they don't realize it. But because that baby may have a little hue in them, oh, listen, half white, half black. There's no such thing as half of anything. It's either this or that. There's never been a half of anything. Like we said before, you take on characteristics of your mom, but you are the seed of your father. The seed comes from the man. You understand what I'm saying? That egg, that's just characteristics of your mom, but you are the seed of your father. You understand? When they take you in that room and they say you are 99.9%, that's because that blood runs through the father. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way it is. So, where we at? Did you get that? Did you do verse 9?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Okay. So let's go down to 1 Corinthians 14. First Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34.
Come on. 1 Corinthians.
Let him get to it first.
I got it.
Come on.
Okay, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Let your woman keep silent in the churches.
Just let your woman keep silence in the church. That's another thing right there. Just like we were saying before, women love to be at the forefront of everything, right? I mean, it's just in their nature. You understand what I'm saying? It's in their nature to be at the forefront. So even in the churches, we got women pastors, but you shouldn't be that. But it says clearly in the Bible, it says what? Let your woman keep silent in the churches. You understand? That means a woman shouldn't be a preacher. A woman shouldn't even open her mouth in the church. Her mouth should be shut. She should be silent. Only thing she should be doing in it is listening. That's it. You understand? Go ahead.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
For it is not. Say that again.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
You hear that word right there? That's another word they hate. For it is not permitted. That's another strong word. It is not permitted for them to speak. Go ahead.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
Say that again.
But they are commanded to be under obedience,
Remember that obedience, obey. They hate that.
as also saith the law.
Also saith the law. Listen, these are trigger points right here. These are trigger points, obedience. This society that we live in, acupuncture, right? Acupuncture relieves stress, relieves pain, and relieves other things when you place that needle in just the right position at the right point, right? This is the same thing, but this is like a reverse acupuncture. When you hear a specific word used in a specific way so many times, automatically your brain says this is a negative word. This word means something bad. This word is not a good word. And this is how the oppressor has deceived our women. Certain trigger words make a woman think she's being oppressed when she's not. She's being saved. Who is she being saved from? Herself. As we saw earlier in the Bible, it says, the serpent came to the woman and deceived the woman. The woman was in transgression, not the man. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
The oppressor has created a society that has placed trigger words in our women's minds that when they hear these words, automatically they being disrespected. They being lowballed. You understand what I'm saying? They're being trodden upon. That's the first thing that they hear when they hear the word obey. I used the word the other day. You understand? Just to see where the action is. You know, lift. You understand? I said, hey, you supposed to obey me. Automatically. What? You understand what I'm saying? Trigger words. I said laugh. You laughing now. You know what I mean? Because I told her, I said, that's a trigger word. Because the oppressor makes her think that this word is a bad word, and the oppressor says, oh, you can do it. You can be a God. Ain't that what he said? In the Bible, certain say, if you do that, you will be as God. What is a woman God? Like diva. That's what women want to be, divas. That's God in, if I'm not mistaken, what is that? God in Latin or something like that?
Not sure.
A diva, a goddess. That's what it is. That's what the word diva means, right? So when they give them that power, you can be this. If you be disobedient, go ahead and see what that culture is like. That culture can't destroy you. Christianity has destroyed our people. That culture can't destroy you. Islam has destroyed our people. Buddhism can't destroy you. Buddhism has destroyed our people. All of these customs and cultures, Egyptology, all of these things like that have destroyed our people. That's that culture that, those customs that she just had to figure out, see how it was. The serpent has deceived her. But who's the strongest? Think about this. What is the strongest force in the Christian church? What's the strongest force in the Christian church?
Strongest force?
The strongest force in the Christian church.
The choir. The slock and pastor. The pastor is choir. What?
No.
The woman.
The woman. Think about this. When you go into a church, you'll see, I'm going to say 70% women, 30% men. And because you see so much of the difference, this is the reason why men in the Christian church take so much advantage of the women in the Christian church. But the power still lies in the woman. Christianity has destroyed us. Martin Luther King brought Christianity and destroyed us as a people. You understand what I'm saying? Following the customs and culture. Understand when it says they hid themselves amongst the trees and covered themselves in fig leaves. What does that mean? They hid amongst the other nations and covered themselves in the customs and the culture of the other nations. That's in Genesis. You feel me? It says they hid themselves amongst the trees. They hid themselves, when it speaks of the trees in the Bible, it's talking about the other nations. When it says they covered themselves in leaves of figs or fig leaves, that's the customs and the culture of another nation. Doesn't mean they physically was hiding under a tree and then wrapped themselves in fig leaves. That's the picture that we've been shown in Christianity. And in fact, it's just the customs and culture of another nation. Eve dabbled in that culture and then brought it back to Adam. You understand? And where we lose that is we fall out of order. We fall out of order and we begin to follow our women. Follow our women in Christianity. You understand? We follow our women right into Christianity and become homosexual and become sexual deviants and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? It's just the things that we do when we fall out of order. God has it Yahushua, Christ sends those orders down to man sends those orders down to women, and women send the orders down to children. Whenever you hear a woman and dealing with her children and children get out of order, what does she say? I'm gonna tell your father. Wait till your father get home. Kids straighten up. Naturally, kids straighten. Even if, and listen, I ain't have to put my hands on my kids when they was young, but when their mother used to say it, they used to straighten up. Not that I put my hands on it, but naturally a kid knows the order. Kid knows the pecking order. You understand what I'm saying? If you ever saw dogs operate, father dog stays off the mother dog's head, the mother dog snaps, bam, children snap in order. Father dog raises his hand, okay, all right, you got that, man. I ain't got to come over. But it's the same thing. Pop sit in his chair. Mama say, if I got to tell your father, kids straighten up. Bam, it's in order. You feel me? It's in order to everything. And as long as we stay in order, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, we come out of this hell unscathed. Right now, we're not. This is the reason why we need to destroy the street, because we have fallen out of order. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead. Is that it?
And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
They will learn anything. Let them ask their husbands at home. Exactly. Keep your mouth shut in church. If you got a question, you wait till we get home and I'm gonna answer it for you. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm learning. Bam. When I get the answers and I know how it goes, bam, then I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna shuffle it down with you. When you get it and you get it on, you shuffle it down to the children. What does it say in the Bible about the children? What does it say about the children in the Bible? Train a child.
Oh, train a child up in the way they were going, they were not far from it.
There you go. You understand? Train up a child in the way that he must go. And he won't fall out of the way. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that he ain't gonna make mistakes, but when you bring up a child in the way of the Most High, he has a goddamn great chance of being straight. You understand what I'm saying?
It's like it. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
He will not depart from it. There you go. Train up a child, and that's proper training. You understand? Is when it says train up a child, right? A lot of people say, well, as long as I'm in the house and I'm telling them everything to do with blah, blah, blah. No, it's training up the child with law, statutes, and commandments. It's getting them to understand who his enemy is. Because that's a problem with a lot of our children. A lot of our children don't know who the enemy is. Why do a lot of children not know who the enemy is? Because their mother does not know who the enemy is. And because the family is severed and destroyed, nobody has a chance to know who the enemy is. And this is the reason why our children are being destroyed. This is the reason why Jacob Blake got shot in the back 7 times. Because somebody called the police, not knowing that they were calling the enemy in to shoot and kill him. Fortunately, he's not dead. You understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately, he's paralyzed. You understand what I'm saying? If we were following the law, statutes, and commandments, we would be policing our own communities. You understand what I'm saying? We would be, exactly, especially in Pikesville. I watched them, I was living up in Pikesville for a couple of years, and I watched their community security riding around at night. You understand what I'm saying? And think about this. They took the first 5 books of the Bible and look at what they had. Look at what they're doing. Just imagine if we took the whole Bible. Just imagine if we looked out and understood that you are my brother, that's my sister, and we are all family. You understand what I'm saying? We take care of our people. We wouldn't have police riding through our neighborhoods because we'd be policing our own neighborhoods. The police come through Pikesville and they turn their sirens off. You understand what I'm saying? That's control. That's control. You feel me? They come through with the lights on. That's it. And it was so nice. You understand? And I lived there a couple of years. It was nice. You know, not hearing the sirens coming through. all you see is the lights blinking, bang, bang, be gone. No. That's order. We could have that order if we follow the law, statutes, and commandments. But because we don't, that's why we live the way we live. Feel me? Where we at?
And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
It's a shame for women to speak in the church. You understand what I'm saying? That means a woman should not be speaking in the church. You understand what I'm saying? Let's break off from that. Let's go to, we're going to see why a woman shouldn't speak in the church. Go to Ezekiel 34 and 31. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 31.
Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 31. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord.
This is, and ye my flock. What is a flock? It's a group of people, but in the Bible, a flock, we talk about a flock of sheep. A flock of sheep. What is a flock of sheep? It's a flock of, you know, I don't know what is a flock of sheep. Of course, a flock of sheep is a flock of sheep. But in the Bible, think about this, a flock of sheep has to be what?
Flock has to be shepherded.
It has to be shepherded, right? Who is the shepherd?
Man.
Man is the shepherd, but who is our shepherd?
Christ.
There you go. Christ is our shepherd. So it says, and ye my flock, the flock of my pasture. Right? So now it says the flock of my pasture. What is a pasture?
Person who speaks about God.
No, not a pastor. A pasture. What's a pasture?
That's where the flock eats.
That's where the flock eats. So now it says, ye my flock, the flock of my pasture. What happens when you put your sheep in a pasture? They eat, they get strong, they get healthy, they multiply. You understand? So it says, in ye my flock, the flock of my pasture. When we read these words, these scriptures are the pasture. We are the sheep. When we read these words and we begin to understand these words, we grow strong. We get bigger. I speak to you. We grow more sheep. We bring more sheep in. We grow. We get bigger. We get stronger. When I told you when I came in, it was only 7 of us. Look how many of us it is now. Ye and ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men. That's us. You understand what I'm saying? When we read and we begin to understand these words, and we get stronger in our faith, we get stronger in the truth, we go out and we speak that truth. When you hear it, you begin to understand, you start to grow, you grow bigger, you grow stronger, you take it to the next man. You understand? Ye my flock, the flock of my pasture are men. These words and these scriptures are for men to teach other brothers to go out and make our nation stronger. General Yohanan said they started off in a little small room with a couple of chairs and only a few brothers. And now look, we got brothers all over the world. Why? Because the flock of this pasture took that thing out and bred other sheep. We spread that word. What you got?
That's like I wanted something that you brought out was real heavy when you was talking about the churches. You was saying who was in authority, and you was like the women. Well, he's saying that his pasture, meaning is possessive, his pasture is men.
Exactly.
So you can see the contrast there.
It's order.
Come.
You understand what I'm saying? The flock of my pasture are men. That means the speakers of this word and the teachers of this word are men. You understand what I'm saying?
Come.
We are the ones who take in this word and we grow and we feed the rest of the nation. Get them to understand this is the laws and statutes and commandments that we live by. This is what we have to do. Moses did that with the children of Israel in Egypt and brought them out. You understand? He led them out because of these words that he grazed upon and became stronger on. Him and Aaron. You understand what I'm saying? Paul became strong on these words, right? All of the 12 disciples and everybody else, and all of the Jeremiahs, Nehemiahs, all of them in the Bible, Joshua's, all of that, all of those prophets in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? Those are men. When you see the prophets of the Bible, those are men, not women. You understand? Not to say that there weren't any strong women in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? But the strong women of the Bible follow the strong men of the Bible. There is an order. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just it. So let's go back now.
Come.
All right. So where we gonna go at? We gonna go to we already hit that. Let's go to Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
Come. Oh, I can got it.
Chapter,
5:22.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? Submit. That's another word women hate to hear. Submit. Women hate to submit to anybody because they have been given so much power and authority in this world, in this society, that a woman does not want to give up an inch of that authority and power. Think about this, right? And I heard Pastor Zariah say this, and it meant so much. It was heavy. A woman will let you do anything to her in the bedroom. She'll do all kinds of acts in the bedroom. But when it comes to her submitting herself and coming under your authority, she refuses to do that. And that's the most saddest thing in the world. You'll do anything for a man in the bedroom, but you won't submit yourself under his authority. You understand what I'm saying? And that alone shows you how destroyed we are. You feel me? That right there shows you how destroyed we are. And then she'll leave him and then go and let another dude do the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of thinking like, damn, if I did this to him and I let him do all of this to me, shit, I might as well be under his authority. You understand what I'm saying? A man loves you enough to do all of that, then be under his authority and let him take total care of you. Taking total care of you is being under his authority, being under his covering. But the whole thing is it has to be a man of the Lord. any man. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem that we talked about earlier. Because you choosing a man and not having your father or a man of the Most High or a man of the Lord choose him for you. This is the reason why our women go through so many relationships. And by the time they go through 4, 5, 6 relationships, they got so much baggage and so much weight on them that they destroy a good man. You understand? And then they can't understand, well, why can't I keep a man in my life? Because women feel like they know it all. They feel like, oh, I know a good man when I see it. If you know a good man when you see it, why have you been through 5, 6, 7, 8 men?
Good point.
Because the crazy thing is you know every woman wants a good man. I'm not saying that it ain't no freak broads out there, which it is, but for the most part, our women want a good man. You understand what I'm saying? But they've been so destroyed by this nation that we live in that they use the ways of the nation to try to find a man and then lose out all the way around. That's why when you meet a female, you already know she's been through the ringer. Because why? She already telling you what? I'm crazy. I heard that a couple of times. I'm just gonna let you know off the bat I'm crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So then you're like, damn, okay, all right, damn, let me we might as well just be friends. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I'm saying that's just the way it is. You understand? We are destroyed all the way around, and then men are destroyed in the same way. Because as soon as we see it, well, I'm just gonna kick it with it for a little bit. I'm just gonna let it go. Shit. And think about this. You put all your game in on a woman. You get exactly what you want, when you want it, how you want it, and then you throw it away because you said, oh, she gave it to me too fast. Not respecting your game, disrespecting her love for you. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us don't think like, dang, if she gave me that fast, then maybe she might really love me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we are destroyed. And because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and because we aren't in the truth, we throw them away. We turn them into whores. You understand what I'm saying? So now she's destroyed. Oh, he gave me up to smack me. Will do the same thing to me. So I'm going to get him back in the same way. I'm going to do him, and then I'm going to leave him alone. You understand? And the cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You just destroy people. You feel me? That's just the way it is. Scriptures is the truth. You know, like I said, I'm in my 3rd year, and before I came in, I thought I knew the Bible. Until these brothers started teaching me, and everything I learned, I had to throw all that away. You know, we was talking about that earlier. You know, I had to throw all of that away and reprogram myself. What I had to do, what he said we had to do, we had to get brainwashed. When we say we had to get brainwashed, we mean we had to wash that filth off that we learned from the world and then learn the truth. Because everybody thinks brainwashed means to be manipulated. But in actuality, brainwashed means to wash away the filth, wash away the untruth, and learn the truth. You understand what I'm saying? To learn the truth. You know, they call us a cult. But I have yet to see anybody commit suicide in here. I have yet to see anybody like Jim Jones did stir up that poison Kool-Aid and make everybody drink it and kill. I haven't seen anybody like the Branch Davidians drink all that stuff and then lay in the bed in some Nikes and die. I ain't seen none of that. You understand? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Branch Davidian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You feel me?
Yeah. It's like precept. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
There you go, right there. What does it mean by become little children? Erase that mind and be open-minded. Learn the truth. You understand? You got to become a child again. That what do they say about children? That first year, all the way up to their 5, they soak up more things than anything. Think about this. I remember when my man's son was 2 years old. He was about to turn 3, right? And I'm not saying that it's right, but he learned the word damn and could use it in context. So when he would drop some damn, you know what I mean? And we saying like 3 years old, but he know when to use it. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta become a child again. You gotta be retaught. We gotta be re-educated. We gotta wash away that filth that we learned and then be re-educated. You gotta be turned back to a child. You gotta learn it all over again. You know? That's it. That was a great precept right there. You know? Where we at?
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
For the husband is the head of the wife. You ladies, if you have a husband, your husband is your head. Now, the thing is if your husband is not in the truth, he is still your head. It is important for you to learn. Oh, okay. All right. It's important. All right, this gonna be we gonna just hit down to 24. That's gonna be it right there.
Come on.
But it's important for women. If you have a husband, it is important that you know that your husband is your head. You cannot leave your husband. What you have to do is you have to learn the truth. You have to display the truth to him and make him wonder, like, where is she learning this from? And then you explain to him, I learned this in the ISUPK. Maybe you need to check him out too and bring him in. And then you can be a family in the truth. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it's done when you're a woman and you're in the truth and you have a man who is not in the truth. You have to display the truth to your husband to the point where he wants to find out what you learned and wants to learn what you learned. You understand? And then you bring him in, and then you become a family in the truth. You understand? That's evenly yoked. Instead of having somebody outside and inside, but even though I can't say that. I don't know that. I can't remember if that's true. I don't say that. But you gotta learn, you gotta display the truth to your husband to make him wanna investigate and learn the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I was going to say, she is covered. I know the man covers the woman, but I can't remember if the woman covered the man. I can't remember. I'm not going to say that though.
The believer, I believe, covers the non-believer.
And he's covered by the woman. As long as he wants to stay, he stays. As long as he's happy with his wife. You understand what I'm saying? And any woman, any man is going to be happy with a woman in the truth. That's like in the Bible where it talks about a woman is worth more than rubies. You understand? It is nothing like a woman in the truth. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, to have a woman in the truth, it's a lot of lucky brothers in here to have women that are in the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Really. I would love to be one of them. I would love to be one of them. But each his own. But go ahead, finish that off.
even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Listen, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Be subject to your husband in everything. And it's not saying be subject to him if he's telling you to do anything illegal or something that could get you killed or hurt. You understand? But if you have a man who is in the truth, be subject to him in everything. That's order. Bill?
Yeah. Slide, sir. Let me get for you 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife,
There you go.
and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Exactly. Think about this. If both of them are in the truth, that's doubly covered. You feel me? That's doubly covered. You can't beat that.
Child, you know, too.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you got a man and a woman who are both in the truth, and then they have a child automatically, I mean, that's a good chance that child will fall right in line. You understand? It's a good chance he will fall right in line. And with that, with Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding general, Your Honor. We've been bringing this truth since 1969, and what is that truth? That the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian are the true Jews of the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And with that, I'm going to turn the class over to Priest Officer Now Ward. Got one book now. I'm so happy to bring all these little books.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Your Honor. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ashra. 1/10 of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, but not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the memorial blowing of the trumpet, September 17th. So we can come out, everybody get together and come out for that. You know we're going to have how SPK rocks it out. Remind Akim and Akwathim to check in on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on ISUPK.com events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper at the school, then he or she is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. And of Israel, Amajim. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah.
Yahweh class dismissed.
All right.